Hey everybody, Jennifer from Scrapping Under the Influence. I am back with my third project using Lumberjack Christmas. This is super fast, super easy. You can customize it by making it single-sided or double-sided. It goes together so fast, I can't even tell you. I think cutting, matting the whole bit and doing it double-sided took me maybe an hour total, and that was with adjusting my measurements and all that kind of fun stuff. So what we've got is a little folio. There is no chipboard involved. This is all artisan cardstock. We've got a belly band here, and I've used my chipboard pieces on both sides on a pop dot as little stoppers so that our belly band doesn't go all the way off. Okay, that comes off. We've got this side with Merry Christmas. The other side we've got the little truck with the tree. We've got Santa on one side. We've got little Merry Christmas reindeer on the other. So this opens up like this. You've got place for photos here. You've got a pocket here, another photo spot, another pocket, another photo spot, and then a small waterfall. Okay. So you can make just this piece by itself, make a slightly smaller belly band, and you're good to go. Or you can make two and attach them back to back. So there we go. This is perfect for, just a very simple gift to give someone, maybe a grandparent with pictures of the grandkids in it as kind of a brag book. These would be good for craft fairs if any of you live in an area that is allowing those this year. Just lots and lots of different things you can do with this, and you can kind of customize it. It's very small. It's about a little over 1/2 inch wide, and then 6 3/4 by 4.5, dimension wise. So let's get to the tutorial. Okay, you guys are going to be amazed at how fast this one's going to come together. I've already done one side, and it literally took me, even with adjusting a couple of my measurements and my notes, it took me like 15 minutes. So we're going to start with 5 pieces for a waterfall that are 4 1/8 by 4 5/8. And to do this, everything that we do in this section, you're going to do twice. So you'd need a total of 10 that are 4 1/8 by 4 5/8 if you're making this double-sided. If you're making it single-sided, you don't need to double the measurement. So 5 pieces that are 4 1/8 by 4 5/8. We're going to score these at 1/2 inch. Okay. The base is 4 1/2 by 7 1/2. We are scoring this at 6 3/4 and 6 7/8. So you're going to have a little 1/8 inch gusset. Okay. Your side flaps are you need 2. They're going to be 6 3/4 by 5 1/4. With the 5 1/4 at the top of your scoreboard, you're going to score at 1/2 and at 3/4. Okay, you're going to do that on both of those pieces. Okay. Your bottom flap is 6 3/4 by 4 1/2. This one does not need any scoring, so we're going to set that aside for right now. You also are going to have 2 pockets that are 5 1/2 by 3 1/2. You're going to score those at 1/2 inch on all 3 sides. Whoops. Okay. I'm going to move my scoreboard. Actually, no, I'm not. I'm going to use my mat because the gray cardstock on the gray mat, I can see it okay because it's sitting right in front of me, but you may not be able to see it as well. So we're going to miter our pockets. Do our small miter at the top, and then at the bottom, you're going to miter through the point where the score lines cross. Okay, so you're going to cut off that entire bottom corner. We can set those aside for right now. Our side flaps, you're going to miter from the 1/2 inch score line out. Okay. Our base, you're going to miter again from the, it's not 1/2 inch, it's like 5/8 of an inch. Okay. And of course the waterfall pieces we don't miter. So what I'm going to do is fold over and burnish my score lines. And it's going to be a little bit harder with that little 1/8 inch, especially if you're using artisan because the paper's so heavy. But it can be done. Okay, so we're going to have our little 1/8 inch gusset down here. We're going to take our 2 side pieces. I'm going to fold just the 1/2 inch and burnish because it makes it easier when you're attaching it if you don't already have that 1/4 inch gusset folded up, because we can fold it up once we get this actually attached to our base. So these are going to go on the side. Let's not do that. And this is why we don't want to fold up that 1/4 inch score line yet, because this helps it to lay nice and flat so we can get it positioned exactly where we want it. Okay, so it's going to go all the way up to the top. And when you're cutting something like this, it's going to be folding in with other things. I usually cut it just barely under the full width. So this was 6 3/4 wide, or I'm sorry, 6 3/4 long. So I cut it just, I mean, not even a 32nd of an inch under the 6 3/4, just to make sure it's going to fit the way I want it to fit. Go ahead and put the other side on now. And these are going to be really good for stocking stuffers, craft fairs, you know, something simple, you know, like a brag book even really for a grandparent, because it's something that, you know, I know as mini album crafters, we all know to look for the flips and the hidden elements and, you know, the different things when we're making full-size albums. People that don't make them don't necessarily know that all of those elements are in there. So this is something that's perfect for someone that doesn't make albums, that you just want to give them something very quick and very easy that they can put pictures in. And when you do it double-sided, this thing will hold about 20 pictures. If you're doing it single-sided, it'll between 10 and 15, just kind of depending on how you mat it and how you decorate it. Which, of course, that's the part that always takes me the longest with any project, is the matting and the decorating. Quite honestly, I would just rather build the bases all day and come up with all the different little elements and the flips and the flaps and that kind of thing. All right, so those close up just perfectly. We're going to build our waterfall away from our tab. Okay, so this is the tab that's going to have this piece will eventually attach to. We're not going to put this on until we get our waterfall down. So I'm going to take my waterfall pieces and fold and burnish all of them. Maybe. If it keeps, I can keep it from trying to slide away from me today. So, I like to build my waterfalls upside down, as you all know by now. So, this waterfall is not as wide as our base, so you are going to center it up. You're going to have about 1/8 of an inch on each side, which is what we want to make sure nothing's getting in the way when you're closing it all up. And two, this one's nice because it doesn't use any chipboard. So again, super easy, super fast to put together, which is always a good thing. Okay. Nope. No, go back. Stick. Dang you, stick. Get ahead of myself here, flipping it over too fast. And I know if you've seen the last night and this morning, I've already posted 2 projects using the Lumberjack Christmas. And you're probably going, oh my God, does she not have a life? No, I don't have a life. But that's not why. My point with these was to try to do projects that can be done in a very short amount of time, because once we get into the holiday season, you know, we still want to craft and we still want to make things, but you don't always have as much time because there's other things going on. Now, this year with COVID, that may be a totally different story. You may have all kinds of time to make the most elaborate projects on the planet. But just in case, here's something simple for you. All right, so we are going to get glue on this tab. All right, and I am going to line this up. Make sure I'm lined up side to side. And then push that down. And then this folds in, and there you go. Our 2 pockets are going to go on these 2 outside flaps. So for as little as this will hold quite a few pictures. And that's where I'm saying, you know, like a brag book for grandma, you know, something to give to a family member, you know, with pictures of the grandkids on Christmas morning. You know, there's all kinds of things you can do with this one. And it's, like I said, very simple, goes together very, very quickly, which is nice to have, you know, a project that you know you can just pull out and do without having to put a whole lot of time into it. We all need those kinds of projects. So with my pockets, I glue the bottom down first to get it lined up where I want it. And then I don't have to worry about accidentally making a crooked pocket, because Lord knows I have done that in the past. I can't even tell you. Until it finally dawned on me, just glue the bottom down first and then do the sides. Because I used to try to do all 3 sides at once, and it's not easy, and it doesn't work. And I used to do them with tape for a long time because I couldn't get them to, I don't know. Pockets and I have not been friends for many, many years now. But it's getting easier. All right. So we are at, according to what is on my computer screen, 11 and a half, almost 12 minutes. And except for matting, this is done. So this is where you have a decision to make. Are you making it single-sided or double-sided? I am going to make it double-sided, so I've got 2 of these. And if you're doing it double-sided, you also need to decide how you want to attach them together. I am going to attach, so let me open these up so you can kind of see, back to back like so, okay? Because we're going to make a belly band that's going to slide down over these to hold everything closed. And see, you've got a nice compact project. This is only about a 5/8 of an inch wide. I mean, come on. You could attach them, like I said, or like I plan on doing here, back to back. You could attach side to side here. You could make a hinge, which would actually be way cute. And now I'm rethinking how I want to do this. You could do a hinge to attach these so they fold out this way, but then you're going to have to mat much more on this outside than you would have to attaching them back to back. But like I said, I'm going to do it back to back. So I'm just going to stand these up on my scoreboard. In fact, I'm going to take my mat out of my scoreboard so I can use it to kind of help get everything lined up, make sure everything's straight. Because I'm just pushing it up against this back edge of the scoreboard and then the side of the scoreboard. Okay, that is going to work. I am then going to be somewhat generous with my glue. I probably should have taken my tip off so that I could be really generous with my glue, but that's okay. We're going to get our glue all over in this back section. And again, if you don't want to make it double-sided, you absolutely do not have to. I'm going to stand these up and sandwich them together. And there we go. I'll give that a couple minutes to dry, because what I can do is fold both sides out so that it's flat, and then I can just kind of burnish that down with the palm of my hand. And there we go. Okay, so for our belly band, I have a piece of cardstock that is 2 inches by 12. We are going to start at 2 inches and score. We're going to go to 2 3/4 and score. Then we're going to go over, so it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 1/4, and then 8 inches. Okay. So when you fold this, and I do have another full score line on there that was incorrect, that I just didn't want to cut into another sheet of paper, so I've got a little bit of a bow here. And once I mat it, it won't be an issue. What we're going to do is we're going to lay our book in here. So I measured the width of the book beforehand, and it's about 5/8 of an inch. So I did just add 1/8 of an inch to give you a little bit of space so that this will slide on easily. And all we're going to do now is we're going to leave it on the book. We're going to push up against both sides, bring this over to meet in the middle. Okay, once you kind of tack that down, carefully slide it off, and then you can burnish it. And then all that's left to do is mat the band and decorate it. Do a little bit of light decorating on the inside here. You don't want anything dimensional because of the way this folds up. Once you get, if you get it, the embellishments on the inside two-dimensional, then it's not going to close up right once pictures are in here. So do keep that in mind when adding embellishments. I'm going to keep it to stickers and the ephemera pieces that came with the collection kit. So, or that go with the collection kit, that is. So this is all done except for the last little bit of decorating. If you end up following along and making this project, please, by all means, share it with me on my page, Scrapping Under the Influence, and also on Scrapbookers of Country Craft Creations. Thanks for watching.